Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to take you through 5 key signs that your relationship might be coming to an end. Now, these are going to be 5 signs outside of the obvious. Please, if there's any sort of abuse in a relationship, it's important to walk away absolutely immediately. And then obviously we have more obvious things like infidelity in a relationship, which can be a telltale sign of a relationship coming to an end and not being healthy any longer. But I'm going to go through 5 other signs that are important to take note of, because as your relationship might be coming to an end and you're deciding whether to stay or leave, these are things that are really important to recognize are totally diminishing the health of a relationship. And if they're not able to be resolved because you don't have somebody in a dynamic willing to work on these things with you, it's very much time to walk away. So the first one is that you never resolve an argument, and one or both of you end up saying a lot of things you regret all the time. Things that are really harsh, really cut deep, really are painful. And it's almost like you're doing that to push the person away, because you're at a point where it's like almost your breaking point, and part of you just like wants to push the person away altogether. And so when you get into that type of dynamic, that's where we'll often see like, hey, the relationship's coming to an end. Now, if things turned around and like you're able to start doing the work and showing up and communicating and changing the way you communicate, sure, maybe there's hope, but only if the other person's willing to participate. If it's not possible because the other person is never able to resolve an argument with you or communicate through things or talk about things and keep saying things that are, that are mean, I don't want to be with you at all, these harsh things, then like time to go. The relationship is coming to a close. Number 2, your resentment tank is super full. In other words, because you haven't resolved stuff for a very long time, and usually if there's a whole bunch of unmet needs for a prolonged period of time, it's almost like there's this sort of like silent poison between yourself and somebody else. It's like the resentment is so full, is so strong, that there's not even like space anymore in the relationship for love, for compassion, for closeness, for forgiveness, for fun, for joy, for like all these things that really are what relationships are supposed to be about in the first place. Number 3, you are almost exclusively saying negative things to family and friends about your relationship. So it's not like you say, oh, this nice thing happened. It's almost like you're constantly venting, saying negative stuff. Of course, it is common for people in general to be in a position where they'll tell the bad stuff and not the good stuff. This does tend to pertain to specific attachment styles more than others. But I'm saying like, it's not like you call and you vent to somebody like once a month or something like that. It's like you find yourself in this incessant state of venting, of saying these negative things over positive things, because you're not feeling positivity from the relationship. And that brings me to number 4, which is that you're much more unhappy than happy. I always say to people, we should be aiming for like at least 85% of happiness and joy in our relationships. And some people will be like, that's crazy, I can't imagine. But really, when you start doing the work and applying the tools, like there's no reason to feel like your relationship is less than 85% joy, happiness, all those different things. Sometimes there's work, sometimes there's moments of conflict, sometimes there's things that need resolution, and we can be pushing like 95, 99% happiness and thriving. But at least if you're above 85%, you're like, the relationship is largely beneficial. Now we're going to have moments, we're going to have challenges, and that's completely normal. But if we're at like 50-50, it's almost like a moot point, right? Like, or if you're at 60-70% unhappiness, frustration, pain, and only like 20-30% of things that bring you any sort of happiness, then again, like we have to ask ourselves if the reason we do things is essentially for the emotional state that these things bring to us, which if you really boil down and dig into things, you'll see that sort of is a principle that lines up across all areas of life. Then like, why are you doing this still? Right? What is still in it? And it's important to really evaluate at that point. And then last but not least, you or your partner start just incessantly seeking needs being met from outside of the relationship. And sometimes these can be in ways that border along cheating, where it's like you're so unhappy, you start seeking attention or validation in, approval, closeness, intimacy in some form, even just emotional intimacy, in a way that's like not from like a friendship or a connection, or, in a way that's really blurring the lines. And usually that's a huge symptom of deeply unmet needs in a relationship, and one or both parties feeling totally paralyzed in their capacity to get these needs met. So if this is something you're going through, do not worry. Relationships can be very challenging. It doesn't mean anything bad towards you. And if you want to check out tools for healing, we have a How to Heal from a Breakup course that's very in depth, that will help speed up the rate at which you heal from a breakup and really see things differently through a different lens. And really like heal the voids that can sometimes take place. And you can check that course out for free for 7 days. And there's enough time to get through that course in that period of time if you really show up and you're committed. So check it out. There's a link in the description box below. And there's a whole bunch of other tools in there. There's a How to Repair Any Relationship course as well that you can check out. But again, you'll see one of the key principles at the start of that course is how to repair any relationship as long as the other person's willing to work with you on it. So important to keep that in mind as well. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.